All right, so welcome guys. We are going to discuss today Command Bootcamp Day 4 designs and campaigns. And one of the things I wanted to bring your attention to, jumping back into this NAR generational trends report, is look who's joined the party, Gen Z. Only 2% reporting this year, and that is going to continue to increase. So what does that mean to us? If you are not present on social media, you need to get present on social media because Gen Z lives on social media. So that's going to be our newest market that we're marketing to. So you want to make sure that you're getting a piece of that pie. So make sure that you set up your social media presence. Wanted to touch on that. And then part of this is not just marketing, but it's also considered prospecting, especially when we're posting to our Facebook page, because a lot of the people that follow our Facebook page are our sphere of influence. So let me get down to home selling and real estate agents. Method used to find a real estate agent: referred by a friend, neighbor, or relative, right? 41% of all sellers. So that means that we need to stay in front of our sphere of influence on a regular basis. And if we hop into the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, page 185, we are told to be marketing based and prospecting enhanced. I'm going to read this little passage here. So to generate this level of numbers, we need to follow a highly leveraged lead generation plan that is marketing based and prospecting enhanced. The reason we keep saying marketing based is because marketing is a leveraged activity. To be able to generate the number of leads you will need, prospecting just won't be enough. So in other words, only reaching out to our sphere of influence is not going to generate enough leads for us to get to be a millionaire real estate agent, right? So we need to run aggressive marketing. I'm moving into page 186 at around the middle. Aggressive marketing and prospecting campaigns built off of the list of figure 10 on page 138. So when we pop back to 138, and keep in mind this is not a recent book and the fundamentals all still hold true. Prospecting, telemarketing, for sale by owners, expireds, right? So prospecting is directly reaching out to people on a one-to-one basis. Past clients, just listeds, allied resources, right? Face-to-face, door knocking, open houses, client events, networking events, social functions, right? Marketing, advertising, newspapers. Nobody really does that anymore. Personal vehicles, putting magnets on your car, radio. Some people still go on radio shows. Magazines, we have a lot of those locally. Bus stop benches, the little shopping carts in the grocery store, think about those. Yellow pages, probably not. But the main thing that's missing, we do have internet websites listed here. The main thing that's missing from marketing in this book, because of the year that it was published, is social media, which is one of the biggest ones that we have. So the goal in our marketing is to market to the general public. This is the lead generation model on page 137. And then try to get everybody pushed as far as we can in towards our center, which is our allied resources. So in order to reach this mass number of people, we have to use marketing, right? We just have to use it. So we're going to pop into Command and discuss some of the ways that we can use the marketing in Command. So the first thing that we're going to look at today is designs. So I'm going to save this for later. So I was working on something there. And we're going to pop in to our designs platform. The first thing I want to touch on is if you have not set up your assets in designs, I want you to make sure that you get that done. So once we move into our designs applet, you're going to see a list of any designs that you've already made. Right now we're on all types. This got a little bit of a facelift. We can now search, which is why it's so important to name our designs. We can look at all types, or just look at our emails, or just look at our social, right? Just look at our print stuff. So we can do that from here, and we can also sort, right, by date, old to new and new to old. Okay? In order to get into our assets, we need to move forward. We partnered with WeBrand to build out this design platform. So right now we're hanging out in Command. You see our applets are still on the left. And once I click Create Design, I'm just going to go ahead and pick Social. Then you'll see my logo up top changes to WeBrand. And you're going to see the applets on the left drop off. And we are now in the Designs platform. So this is where we need to be to access the My Assets tab at the top. So once you come into here, you can set up different color palettes. This is my main color palette. This is the main stuff I use in my marketing and branding. You can set up different ones. Maybe you want a patriotic theme for the holidays that are patriotic. Maybe you have a certain color palette for spring, holidays, etc. We can also upload fonts. So if you came up with a font for your brand, you can upload it here. Just keep in mind that if you're going to upload a font, it needs to be in one of these 5 file types that are listed here at the bottom. Okay? Images. Do you have images that you use a lot? I do a lot of stuff for the teams in the office, or for the leadership team in the office, so I have most of their pictures here. I have a picture of the Winston-Salem office, Market Center. I'm a labs advisor. I'll pop this on a lot of stuff, so I've added this here under my images. You can just click upload and choose any image that you want from your device, Google Drive, Dropbox, right? So if you have some stuff you use quite a bit, you can put that here. You can build folders. So I could say like KWRE leadership headshots. You guys could say, you know, listing photos, or whatever kind of folder you would like to build. And then I can take my photos and drop them into these folders to keep it a little bit cleaner if I planned on adding a lot of images, right? So that's pretty cool. The more that you add here, the easier it is when you're building out your designs. Text. I have this contact block. It's got all of my contact information. I've got my name, the company address, my bio, my email, my website, my phone number, your resources website, and my app code added here into the text. Same thing, we have folders. We can click new field to add text. And we also have websites, Insta, Facebook, all that kind of fun stuff. Or we can create a new text and give it a label. If there's something that we use a lot, maybe you like to use TikTok, then you could put TikTok in there, right? Logos, same thing, folders. I'm in 2 different market centers, so I have KW1's logos here, and I have KW Elite's logos here. Elements would be stickers, buttons, anything that you're going to use a lot. You can upload those here. Videos, if you're going to add any of those, you need to use a link. So I'll show you an example. I just finished teaching 3 simple steps to get started in Command this morning. So I could actually take this video, this link, come back into my WeBrand, click the add button. Oops, I added a folder, not a video. And you'll see it's got to be done from a YouTube link. Paste, add. Now I have that video available to me anytime that I want to insert it into an email design or anything like that, right? Then we also have files. So like the Working with Real Estate Agents brochure, if you want to link that into something, you can upload files here as well. So if you have not had an opportunity to set up your assets, please take a moment to do so, because it'll make your life a lot easier. I'm going to go back to the My Designs tab now, so you guys can see what this looks like. This takes you to all of your designs. I have a ridiculous amount of them. We can also create folders here. So if we have holiday things that we do, if we have a set of Facebook covers that we interchange on our different websites, any of that kind of stuff. If you want a folder for your listing marketing, buyer prospecting, then you can create those folders here. We can also go to the templates from here if we want to use one of the pre-made templates from KWRI. You can import a PDF and edit it in this system. You can also start from blank and pick the size that you're looking to make. If you've got your own marketing in mind, then you could do that definitely. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to upload a PDF, because there are a few steps there. So let me just pick a PDF here. That's got some text and stuff on it. I'll just take this. That'll work. Or not, because that wasn't the PDF. There we go. I'm going to drop that PDF right there. So you'll see it's uploading. It takes it a minute. It's down in the lower right. It says it's uploading. It's creating the design. It's pulling in the fonts. It's going to look blank at first. Then when you double click to open, it's going to say some of the fonts in this PDF are missing. Please select a replacement or upload that font, right? So it doesn't always do this, but sometimes it does. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of the stuff that it does when you're uploading a PDF. And I'm going to click continue. And then it's going to ask me if I want it in pixels, inches, millimeters, or centimeters. I usually pick pixels. And then it's going to open that PDF up for me. So if you have a PDF, if you had an existing listing presentation or something that you were already using and you just want to add to it, then you can, in fact, upload that PDF to use in Command. So I just wanted to let you guys know how that worked. And let it go back. If you're ever in here and you want to get back to Command, like I've told you guys previously, you can have multiple command windows open. I usually do have multiple command windows open because this does take me out of the system, and I hang out in designs quite a bit. However, if you only have one open and you want to get back, you just need to come into the upper right corner, click the X, and then you're going to see all of your applets pop back up onto the left, and you will be back in the Command platform. So any questions about what we went over so far? Everybody feeling good? Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and create a design today. I'm going to pick social. If this was for a listing, I could import photos and text from a listing right from the get-go. I'm going to click continue. This is going to take me straight into my templates. So I have social designs for the KW app, listings, buyers, lead gen, business basics. You've got access to the leadership. Professional services is kind of luxury configured designs. And then you have an extra luxury one, right? And then you have collections, which are the new designs and some other stuff that they've added in recently. So we have all of these different ways that we can go. So let's first look at a listing. Say we have a listing that just went live. We can pick the for sale. You'll notice that they have resized all of these things for us, which if anybody's done any internet marketing in the past, you had to Google search what's the size for a Facebook image, and then you had to make sure that your design matched that size, and now they've done it all for us, right? So you have social wide Facebook covers, big Facebook pictures, social squares, Instagram, and now Facebook uses these quite a bit too. Social stories, the taller, skinnier images there, right? Size for LinkedIn, if there are any, there are no templates there yet for that one. Twitter, on into door hangers, flyers, letters, postcards, all that kind of fun stuff, right? Got a whole lot of them. So if you wanted to make a flyer or something like that. then you could do so. I'm going to go ahead and move forward with a social square for today. And I'll show you guys how to do this with your listing or someone else's listing. If maybe you were doing an open house for somebody else, doesn't mean that you can't brand it to yourself and post it on social media. So I'm just going to go into my office active listings and do that. Find myself, ooh, Breckenridge. Stuff doesn't usually go for sale in there. Go back, I'll just use that 490 Archer Road. So let me pick one that I like. I like this one, I think. I haven't used this one before. This is new on the market. So we click the red use button. It's going to open that up for us. And there are a few nuances to this system. The more you use it, the more you get used to it and moving things around, right? Hopefully it's done loading now. This was not centered. Fun. DBA name. I've got my logos in my assets. You see it defaults to my assets and it's got my logo showing up right here. So what I'm going to do is click what I want to replace and then come over to the left and click this little replace icon and it will usually switch that out for me, but it doesn't want to do it today. There we go. All right, so now my logo's there. I can now click on this exterior photo and I want to get the replacement from my listing. So I'm going to click on the KWLS little house on the left. I'm going to type in that address. Of this property and hit enter. It'll take it a minute and now it's brought that listing up. I'm going to click select. And you're going to see it bring up all the photos that are in the MLS as well as the listing details. So say I really wanted to highlight, let me see what I want to highlight. I'll try a front exterior, maybe this one. There you go. So it looks good, right? So street name, I can either double click and type it in, right? I can also replace text with the listing details from right here. I can come down to the address and click the replace button. It's going to pop that address in there. I can pull these around. That saved me from having to type that out. And then I have that there and ready to go, like so. I can do all kinds of fun things with the text. With this spacing, I can increase the line spacing. I can increase the word spacing. Like that, stretch it out. Depending on what you want your design to look like, if you want it to go all the way across the top of the design or something. And you can even space out the letters. You can space out letters right there. So depending on what you're going for, you can definitely move this stuff around. Okay? Does anybody have any questions on creating this social design? We can use KWLS, we can use our assets to pull in different pieces, pull in the pictures from the MLS, all that kind of fun stuff. It changed my font to the correct one now. That looks good. I can now download this to my computer and share it wherever I want to. Right? That's one option. I'll show you another option when we move into campaigns. We're going to name this Boot Camp Social Listing Square, so I know what it is. Don't forget to rename your designs, because if you really get into it and you start creating a lot, it's hard to sort them out, right? So I'm going to go back a step. Make sure I click save. It is auto saving while you're creating as well. And we are going to pop into a print design now. So we're going to stay on the path of that same listing. So I've now got something to push that listing out on social media. Now I want to make a just listed flyer. I'm going to choose just listed. All that's really doing is changing the verbiage, and if you see a flyer somewhere that says just listed and you want it for just sold, you can just change the words, right? So I'm just going to go into this just listed. I'm going to pick I just want a regular flyer letter. Boom. Okay. So I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to click use. So same thing. This is going to open up what this PDF is going to look like. Blink and you'll miss it. That's true in this market, is it not? We come over to the left to my KWLS again and search for 490 Archer, courtesy of Mr. Blake Ginther. Enter. And so there's Archer. That must be an old Archer. Oops. This will pull up some stuff, y'all, just so you know. But funnily enough, I actually like that front door for this right here. So I'm just going to use this old listing. I'm going to click the door. I'm going to come to this set of doors and click replace, and bam. And then I'm going to go into the actual listing and click select. So now I can replace this photo. And I'll replace it with this one. Like that. And let me find another one over on the left. I want the backyard to show, because in Old Sherwood we have some nice backyards. So I want a view of that. And so now I can take this picture of this beautiful young woman and go into images, and I've got my photo right there to replace hers. And see this contact details box? Let me expand this for you guys. You can make it larger so that you can see. This is why I made that contact block, because there's a lot of these that are kind of all together, and when you were just trying to replace maybe just your name, it made it a little bit difficult. So I'm going to click on text. I'm going to click on my assets. I can click the agent name and replace it with my own. I can now click on this contact block and replace it with my own right here. My internet's apparently slowing down on me again. Ed seems to be doing good today though. So like I said, this stuff is just a little, you know, a little nuanced. You get used to it and get used to kind of moving around in here. I don't know. There we go. That one already had my name, but I can just double click in there and get rid of that. Just like so. Now it's got my stuff in there. I might want to expand this box out a little bit, make it look a little clearer. I've already got my app code right here, but I can still replace it with my app code there if I want, just like that. Stretch this out. There's that logo. I'll replace this one with the KW1 logo so you can see what that looks like. May just have to move the logo once you change it, because the KW1 logo is a little thicker than some. Just slide that up. Okay, really cool. KWLS, still open right now. Click on listing details, and we're going to look through, there's that property description. I'm going to click this default property description, come over to this one and click replace. It may be too big. That does happen because we get wordy in the MLS. So maybe I just want to here. Then I can just take some of this out and then move this text back down to its spot, like so. I can see the price is $465, so I need to move this and make it $465. Address, address, replace. Maybe. Clicking on the wrong stuff here. My internet is really laggy. There we go. That replaced it that time. I can see my bedrooms, four bathrooms. My goodness. Okay. 4 beds, 4 baths. Square footage is going to be a range. It may or may not populate from here, but I would have it obviously if it was my listing, or I could look in the MLS for the range, or I can just delete it, which is what I'm going to do. And it was built in 1968. So I'm just going to double click right here into 2015 and replace it with 1968. Okay. So I've got my logo, my photo, my data. I've changed out the listing photos to my own. Blink and you'll miss it. Perfect. Got a flyer. When I go to download, I always change to PDF for printing because I want it to be high quality. I like to include the bleed so that I know my safe areas, and I usually download as a CMYK for clarity on my images because most of my flyers are going to have listing images, and then I click download. You're going to see it say preparing in the upper left area here, and we'll just wait for that to download. Does anybody have any questions on what I just did?
Yeah, I have a question. The download with the bleed and the CYMK, I got the CYMK, that's for colors.
Mm-hmm.
With the bleed and the download, what I was worried about was if I was uploading it into another printing
Mm-hmm.
platform,
Yeah.
that the red and the blue line would show up. That's not the case, right?
It's not, and you can look at wherever you're putting it to get it printed. It will usually have direction on what you need
Uh-huh.
when you're uploading to their platform. And you're going to actually see an example of that when we move into campaigns and I show you guys how to make a custom postcard and then pull it into
Yeah.
campaigns. It's got directions that say, you know, make sure you use manual bleed, blah, 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 blah. And so it'll show you what
Okay.
you need there. And so there's that downloaded PDF. Can send it to the printer. I can print it, whatever I need. It didn't save any of my stuff. Fun. Did I not click save? Could be. Let's try that again. Bootcamp flyer. File. Save. And over here in file, you do have these grids, rulers, and grid lines. Manage bleed and safe areas so that you can see it, right? You can check the print quality, look at your formatting and all that kind of stuff. Go back a step to a different version. Go back one step individually. So whatever you need to do, you can do it over there on the left. I'm going to try to download this again after I hit save. And let this go. So flyers look good. Social designs are really nice too. There we go. I like those a lot. So there we go. There's my pictures, my actual picture. And you can just send these to the printer or send them to the printers that you're paying if you want them to be really nice. The other thing that we got recently is being able to order prints. Now, I have not ordered any of these. I do want to order some so that I can check out the quality. But for right now, you can do one page front and back. So a question I get a lot is people want to print the agent magazine that I'm going to show you here in a minute. Like in a magazine format. We don't have that quite yet. They are working on improving what we do have available for printing. So if you want professional printing and you want it delivered, you can do it here. For listings nowadays, unless you're doing this ahead of time, I would probably go local. But we can save a lot of money doing it this way. It's just going to take time for you to get it, right? So if you're trying to go quick to get your listing, you probably won't want to use this. But you can select your paper stock, paper thickness, all that kind of fun stuff here if you want really fancy-dancy flyers. So just front and back right now. Okay? I'm going to show you really quickly before we move into the branded magazine. I wanted to show you guys, if you go under my designs, I told you we have this start from blank right here. I'm going to click start. We can pick our custom size or any of their actual sizes here, right? I'm just going to choose Facebook really quickly because I want you guys to see the things that you can add. Trying to be mindful of the time. So I'm going to make sure to show you the magazine. Okay, so here's a Facebook cover photo or just the larger, longer Facebook photo. So some of the things that we can do, obviously we have all of our assets that we set up. Also, if you click on Workspace, you have a lot of KW images that they gave you. So we have some houses, holiday images. Oh my gosh, look at that cute dog. House interiors. So if you're just looking for stock images to come up with something, then you have all of these interiors, app images, right? So these are pictures from our app. If you wanted to brand yourself with your app. Lifestyle images, which have become really, really popular, just showing different families, different types of families in their living space. Those are fun. And activities, neighborhoods are cute. These overviews of neighborhoods I like, the kids getting on the school bus, stuff like that. So we have a lot of built-in images that we can use here. You can also add images by uploading them from your computer, which I do quite a bit. Dropbox, Google Drive. I don't use Dropbox, but what I don't like about Google Drive is there's no way for me to do the folders. So I usually upload from my computer. But you can connect your Facebook and stuff like that too if you have images in there that you wanted to use. So those are some of the things that you can do. Same in text. So you can just choose baseline what you want your text style to be. Title, subtitle, body text, or a text block. And then you can mess around with the different fonts. But we also have these banners. So if you're looking for like a banner or something that looks really pretty or graphic, then you have all of these to choose from. Workspace, not really a lot by way of that. It's mostly under the banners. And then of course we have the My Assets text, which is usually all the stuff that you added up there in that. Logos and elements, I told you about elements in the assets section. You can still add stuff from KWLS. Somebody sent me a screenshot of another agent's Facebook post. And she just wanted a picture of the house. So you could do that. 490 Archer Road is what we were using. And this was the one. So she just wanted a front exterior, which you can pop in right there. We can stretch it out to fit our design. Come from the corner there. however we want this to look, like that. And then she just wanted it to say just sold across the front. She didn't want any of the other, I mean, we have just sold Facebook posts, but this is what she wanted it to look like. So then she went into the text, or I showed her how to do this, and she wanted something that looked like scrolly. So I think we picked this one. And then she highlighted this and changed it to white. Let me stretch this out. So she just went in and used this and said just sold. And changed it over to white the way she wanted it to look. I don't know why it's just giving me a fill color. I think this was the one we used. I could be wrong. That was the other day. But you see what you could do. If you wanted it to look like this, you could just say, you know, 24 hours under contract. Whatever you want it to say. So if you don't like the designs, you can create your own customized design. I go for fast, so I don't want to have to do all that. I just want to switch the pictures out and paste it. But you can do that if you want to. I'm not going to save that one. And now I'm going to show you guys the branded magazine. The branded magazine, the listing presentation, and the buyer presentation all operate in the same way. So the one I'm going to show you is the magazine because I want you to see it. But just know that the editing of them all work in the same way. So the magazine is under lead generation and then personally branded zine. So for your magazine, they have some social media posts, right? And I'm going to show you why that is. This was our very first magazine. This was Q2. This is Q3. We'll have a Q4 rollout soon. And I'm going to go ahead and click use on this one. Apologize. I thought I had already turned my phone down. Okay, so this works the same way for all three things: listing presentation, buyer presentation, magazine. Okay, we're starting with a blank canvas in the center. This is our workspace. On the left are our template pages. So you don't have to add all of the pages if you don't want to, right? You can just add the pages that you want to add. Okay? You can click the page to view it and see what it looks like, but that does not mean that you are adding the page. Okay, you have to actually click the add button. So they gave you some choices in covers this time. This is the first time they've done this. So that's one, or this one, or this one, so that you can choose how you want your front cover to look. I love my swimming pool, so I like that one, and I'm going to click the plus sign. So now that has added that page to my design. Okay? It does do one weird thing that I'm going to show you so it doesn't confuse you when it happens. Over here to the right is where you can see pages. For some reason it adds it as a second page, so my first step is to always just go in and click these three dots and click delete, so I don't have that random blank page at the beginning. Alright, now as far as this part goes, we're editing just like we did that PDF. We're clicking our logo, we're replacing it with our own logo with the replace button. We can change out our name and our office name here. This is featuring 3 articles. The articles are not editable, but everything else is. Okay, so then when I'm ready to add my next page, I'm like, okay, I'm done with this page. I'm going to click back on the template, and then come down and say, okay, I do want to add a note for myself. So I'm going to plus that, and then I can edit out my note, change my photo, change my name. If you're on a team, you might want to feature your team, right? So I can click here and switch my photo out for that one, like so. Edit all my stuff. They already have wording in there, but if you want to change it out, you can definitely edit it for yourself, right? And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm good with this page. Go back to my template. If I wanted to do a quarter in review, there's the first article, and they all look really nice, right? Again, not editable. You do put your contact info in there for your different ones, have different things. Let's see, as your trusted advisor, I would love to deep dive. Yes, so this is editable with your information. So the different articles have different pages. So here's the next page of the article.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
How long do those articles stay up? Like you said, Q3, is that for quarter?
Yes, yes. So this is a quarterly magazine. So we got our first one at the beginning of the year, then we got the second one. So this is only the third edition, and they don't like take the previous ones away, right?
Okay.
So if you saw an article in one of the previous magazines and you wanted to add it in, then you could most definitely do that.
Just download it and upload it or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Good deal. And so then you have a featured listing page. So if you have a listing you're wanting to feature right now, you can pop that page in. Here's your next article. If you have great numbers that you want to share, there's your opportunity to do so. If you have some success stories from clients, there's your opportunity to put those testimonials in with the picture of your client. Here's your next article. If you want to do a whole page of listings, right? So what I always recommend is you add the first page you want, you edit it, then you add your next page. Then you edit that and add your next page. So you can see you don't have to add all the pages if you don't want, right? But for the sake of this, I want to get back and see where I was here. Get back on page 4. I'm going to add this page. I'm just going to do this one full article, and I'm going to show you guys some stuff. So same thing with printing. If you want to print it out, download it, save it as a PDF to your computer, right? And this one's being wonky. Let me make sure that this worked. There we go. So go ahead.
You're looking at maybe about 10 pages. Just the pages are giving you maybe about 10 pages for the full magazine.
Yeah, let's see. So one cover, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's a little bit more. About 15. If you used them all, right? And you may not. You may not want to use them all. So you can download it to print it. And I'm going to show you another one that you can do. So we're going to look at this when we move into campaigns next. Boot Camp Magazine. Always rename your designs. Okay. I always save them just to be safe. And we can now click this share button. Okay. You don't want to just share this design because that would only be this page. You want to share the entire project. And then you've got this nifty little link down here at the bottom. And when you open that link up on a web browser, they can scroll through and read your magazine like this. if you wanted it to look even fancier than this in an online platform, I don't have a paid account with them, but you can do that, and it will get rid of the I think it was Flipsnack that I used. Let me get into this account. Come on. This one makes it look like a magazine, like the pages are flipping, right? So here's one that I made, share, copy. If you have the paid account, I don't think it keeps this ad at the bottom. But so this is what this will look like in this format. So see, it's like flipping pages. But it's the same thing. You have a link, right? You have a link to flip through it. And it makes it look like a little magazine. So pretty cool. Okay, does anybody have any questions on this part? We all feeling pretty comfortable? Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to go back a step. And we'll talk about this. Come on. This little check out my branded magazine social square. I'm going to click use. I'm going to do this real quick and then we're moving into designs. Do you guys want a break for 5 minutes or do you want to keep going forward? Anybody?
I can take 5.
Perfect. I'm going to go get myself a drink. And so as soon as we finish making this one design, then we are going to take a fiber. All right. So now we have this design made. So we're going to say boot camp magazine Facebook post. And we're going to save it. It is saved. And we are taking a 5-minute break, and I'll see you guys all back here in a few minutes. I'll put the timer on the screen.
Okay.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you've been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play the music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Morning comes and you know that you wanna stay. Close the blinds, let's pretend that the time has changed. Keep our clothes on the floor, open up champagne. Let's continue tonight, come on, celebrate. That's how we
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing.
All right, friends, we're back. Wait for everybody to pop back in. If you're not on camera, let me know in the chat that you're back before we get started again.
All back, all good.
All right.
I'm back.
Perfect. Got Ed coming back in. All right, good deal. So does anybody have any questions about designs before we move forward? Oh, I just thought about one more. Hold on. Got to show you one more thing. Email. Let's go back one. I knew I was forgetting something. Email designs. Some of my favorites. That won't take long at all. And you can actually see them through the campaign too. But I'll show you real quick. You can make them in designs. Also, for the emails, you do have to come out of the system and start with emails. So create design and choose email, and it will take you into the emails. Okay. We have all these templates provided to us by KWRI. And you can also create your own from scratch if you want. But we have 73 templates designed for us. So we have birthdays, home anniversaries, work with me buyer, work with me seller. These were our 4 original ones. And now they've added a bunch more. So just basic emails where you can put all your own info in there. It's just kind of designed out for you. They have just listed for sale, open houses, all these different ones. And then they made us these. I'm going to click next on this one. All these one-off emails that are great just for sending out. Maybe you choose one a month, right? So 5 things you need to know before selling your home. It's all made for you. Anywhere that there's an asterisk that's going to fill it in, it is populating from that marketing profile that we looked at. And under your options, you can actually preview what it's going to look like when it's sent. It's got your logo. This is a very simple email. And then they have some that are much more pretty looking as well. So emails are pretty simple. Same thing, you can add to them. I'll take this financial health one and click next. So say that you made a video. Maybe you're really passionate about financial health, like Candy Dillard, our team leader in Winston-Salem, was our MCA for years. And she is very passionate about money and finances. So maybe Candy wanted to make a video about that. Then you could actually drag the video over and pop it in. Click the video. Again, if you had these on YouTube, which is where they should be, you enter the video URL here. And then you just take a thumbnail of that video and use that as the image. The picture shows up here. I'll just show you what it looks like. I'll take this one. Move my zoom bar. So I'm going to pick this picture and click replace. It's going to drop that into the spot. And then you would take your YouTube link like this one And I've got too many windows open at this point. Let me get these closed, closed, closed. And I think I even closed that window that I was just working in. But you pop the link in there, and that's what it looks like. So I just wanted to show you guys the emails real quick, and you can do those straight from Campaigns as well. So now we're going to move into Campaigns. Campaigns has a lot of moving parts and pieces. Remember that Command has taken multiple programs and rolled them into one, so don't let the sheer amount of stuff that's in here overwhelm you, because you only have to use the stuff that you want to use, right? So within the Campaigns applet, we can do social media posts, which are free. And if it's free, it's for me. Get your name out there. Marketing-based, prospecting enhanced, right? Per the MREA. So I know some agents make a post every single day, right? They make a post every single day. You don't have to do that. I also know some agents that have 3 set posts per week. Motivational Monday, recipes on Wednesday, funny on Friday, and then all the other impromptu posts like just listed, just sold, open house, and that kind of stuff, right? Those are going to happen when they come, but you should still schedule out content so that you don't have to stress out about it. It's a great day to talk about this because it's the end of the month. So go ahead and schedule out some content for the whole month of August. You don't have to worry that your content is pushing out at that point, right? You don't have to worry about it. So you can do the social media posts. We can also do direct mail, i.e. postcards to a farm, to our database, however we want to handle that. We can do email campaigns. And my email campaigns, I'll go ahead and warn you now, is going to look a little bit different than your email campaigns. It's an upgrade that's coming eventually. It's not here yet. It's being tested. We can do paid Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter ads. Okay? So those are all the pieces that we can do. We're going to start at the end first with the free social posts. Okay? We have our payments button. If you're going to do any paid ads, you need to add the card in Command, not necessarily the platform where you're making the post. Okay? You want to make sure that you have both Facebook connections made. You do not connect Instagram in the settings area of Command. It is only for paid ads right now. We cannot schedule social posts to Instagram. That does not mean you cannot download the images that you make in designs and post them to your Instagram. Okay? Any questions so far about campaigns? Good? Okay? So we're going to look at these quick posts because I like fast, quick, and easy, right? We have a lot of stuff that we have to think about. One of those things that I don't really have time for is creating a bunch of content. I might want to create some, but I would love to have some content that's just done. So, bad joke alert. What's worse than hidden fees? Practically nothing. Whether you're refinancing or buying a new piece of property, blah, blah, blah. Say, I like this quick post, right? These are quick posts that are provided to us. Or maybe I don't like any of these quick posts. Then I can come up here and hit the shuffle button to see some new ones. And I'm like, oh, cute, family, I like this one. All I have to do is click this forward teal arrow. It's going to make the post. The text is there. It all looks good. If for whatever reason I don't like this text, I have another shuffle button. Right? Just changing the text, keeping the image. Got lots of content here. Okay? If I uploaded my own design, I'll show you how to do that in a minute, then I could do that here, but I'm just working with a quick post, right? So I don't have to change anything. If your logo is not showing up here, you can upload it. If you made your own design and it has a logo on it, you might want to just hit the X because you don't want to double the logo, right? A lot of people ask me, I'm on a team and I need the KW logo. So put the team logo in your design and then add the KW logo here, or vice versa, whichever one works better for you. Okay? You can include your ownership statement. Each office is independently owned and operated, or you can choose not to do that. I always do it because we should be disclosing that. Schedule it or publish it immediately. So talking about scheduling out a whole month, you could schedule out your whole year of holiday designs if you wanted to, right? Maybe that's your New Year's resolution this year, that you're going to sit down and go ahead and schedule out Happy New Year, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, MLK, 4th of July, Halloween, Christmas, what am I missing? Thanksgiving, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day, right? You could go ahead and just schedule all those out for the whole year, and then you don't have to think about it again if you want to. Or you can publish it immediately. If you have multiple pages, then you can post to multiple pages if you so choose. You can have them all connected. If you have a secondary business, add that Facebook page here and make content for that page. If you're going to share it to Twitter, you have to make sure that it's got less words, because Twitter will only allow so many characters. Okay? Else you'll get an error when you try to post it. Okay? So that's how quick and easy the quick posts are. I'm actually going to do one and just show you guys what it looks like. I'm going to do this one. Share. This is how fast it is. I don't need to do anything here except for I like to include my ownership statement, which I'm going to do. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to publish immediately. I just want it to go to one Facebook page, publish. Done.
And it's just your Facebook professional page, right? Not your...
Correct. It always posts to your business Facebook page. That's a great thing to bring up, because a lot of people are like, well, I only have 60 people that like my business page and I have 2,000 friends on Facebook, right? That's okay. We're going to go to our business page, and this is just one of those things that if you really want to do this, that you'll have to be intentional with. I'm going to go to my Winston-Salem Forsyth County real estate page. Okay, here I am. There's the post that I just made, right? Up here, I'm interacting as Winston-Salem Forsyth County Real Estate. I'm acting as my business at the moment. I can drop this down and switch to my personal self. And then I can share this to my newsfeed, to my story, to my timeline, to a friend, whichever, right? So if you want to take the content you posted on your business page and turn around and share it to your personal account, you can definitely do that, and hopefully it's going to drive traffic back to your business page and increase your likes, which will push your page higher in the Facebook algorithm, right? So it's just something that we're going to have to be intentional about doing if it's something that we want to do, right? Anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, the neighborhood one. That's just going and bringing the information in from KW.
The neighborhood video?
Yeah.
Yep, I'll show you that right now.
Because I feel like I did that, and for the neighborhood, no information popped up. For the neighborhoods, I typed.
So you have to be wary of that, right? So I'm going to search for a neighborhood. I'll try mine this time. Old Sherwood Forest. I'm going to click next. So this is populating from the MLS, right? If you know that it's not on the decline, you can change it, right? If you're really intentional about studying your areas that you intend to work, you might know that this isn't exactly right, right? And if you want to take the time and change it, you're welcome to do that. If there's not enough information from a specific neighborhood, it's not going to pull it, right? Because there's just not enough data. So
Right.
pick a different neighborhood in that
I think
instance.
that may have been what it was. It wasn't enough information in MLS. Maybe there's not enough activity.
Yep, that does happen. And so usually I don't even use my own neighborhood because stuff was selling so fast that I didn't have enough data. So I was using Buena Vista, which is across the street, much higher price point. So there's usually a little bit more inventory over there. But even then, Buena Vista's price per square footage was calculating at, I don't know, like $10,000 or something, which is not true. It was just inaccurate, right? So just, make sure that you look at it. This all looks about right to me, and this is a don't sweat the small stuff type thing, because what's the number one place that people go search for houses? Zillow. Is it ever right? No, it's not.
Yeah, but you don't want to put out misinformation.
No, and this is for eye catching, right? This is to stop somebody scrolling on Facebook to click on your stuff. And yes, you can check on it and make sure that it's accurate, right?
Okay. So pulling from KWLS.
It is pulling from a combination of KWLS and Nextdoor's neighborhood boundary guidelines.
Right. And so if the information isn't actually going to KWLS for whatever reason, whatever odd reason,
Mm-hmm.
then your
You
information
can just
would
look
be
at the MLS.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So the default to on the decline, because every time I did it, it was average home price.
It doesn't, no. I've seen it lots of times be on the rise.
Okay.
Yep. Especially like 2 months back, it was almost always on the rise. Right? So, I mean, you can definitely check on it, right? Check on it and see if it's right, if that's what makes you comfortable. For me, I mean, granted, I'm not going to post the Buena Vista one. Let me do the Buena Vista one and see if it still does that crazy thing. Share Buena Vista, Winston-Salem. There. Next. You guys give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Sorry, guys. That was my son. I had to take that really quickly. So average home price. Okay, so this is fixed. Before it was really showing like an extra 2 digits right there. It was like $19,500 a square foot. So, I mean, when I see stuff like that, I'm going to catch it and change it, right? Otherwise, this is probably pretty accurate because all of our prices are a little bit on the decline right now because the market is slowly starting to cool off a little bit, right? But I'll just go ahead and move forward with this. Agent information, it should be populating here. And then this stuff should be populating here. And I'm going to click next. It's going to take a few seconds to generate this video. And then I'll let you guys take a look at it. right? It's a pretty cute little video. Same thing, quick post, enter the neighborhood, post it, right? Any questions? And just keep in mind, with all of these posts, our whole intent is to stop people from scrolling and to click on something that we're doing and interact with it, right? And when they interact, we want to make sure that we interact back. So one of the most valuable pieces of social media information that I got from one of my big Keller Williams family reunion or mega camp, whichever one that I was at, he said that every day he comments on 5 things, he likes 5 things, and he sends 5 personal messages on his social media every single day. And if somebody comments on his comment, he makes sure to go back. He said, don't post and ghost, right? That was his feedback. And so there's an agent, George Kelly. He was the guy that shared the spreadsheet that I showed you guys the other day for your command opportunities checklists. He has really gotten into doing these social media posts, and he posts something every single day for his team. He does it first thing in the morning. It takes him 5 minutes, and then his entire team shares that content. And he said that it has vastly improved their social media presence. So if you're a single agent right now, that's fine. Go ahead and start that habit, right? Start that habit. So does anybody have any questions on Quick Post and what we've looked at so far there? We good? Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and create a campaign really quickly, and we're going to pick social posts. And I'm going to use Browse Designs. There's that just listed that we just made in Designs, and we'll give that a minute to populate. It's going to give us the option to crop to square, wide, or free range. This is a square, obviously, so we're going to click crop. And we can say, you know, hot, coming in hot. New listing in Old Sherwood. 4-bed, 4-bath, recently updated. Schedule your showing today, right? Something else that we can do with this is go straight to our website, which we learned about yesterday. And we can let this load and go to 490 Archer. Remember, anything that comes in from here is going to automatically add this contact to our command when they enter their data. So there's that listing. So we can take this link and copy it and add it to our Facebook post. Click this link to see more photos and info. Paste. Right? Just listed. Here's the data. Click this link. Get more information. Boom. Right? And then you can choose to schedule it. You can choose to post it immediately. But see what I mean about doubling up on the logo? We had added the logo in Design. So if I keep this logo, then we have 2. So you can just hit the X, and it'll take that away. Right? And then you can post that. So that's how easy it is to create a design, and then you just browse your designs library to pull that photo in. For uploading images, one of the best tips I have is that agent that likes to post recipes on Wednesday. She calls them hump day recipes. She likes to do sheet pans or 5 ingredient recipes, anything that's easy for busy people, right? So 5 ingredient family meal recipes. She'll go to these different ones and pick one. And we just save the picture, right? Just save the picture from the thing to your computer. And you can take the link and go to here. You know, it's hump day. Try one of these 5 ingredient recipes for you and yours this evening. Done. Upload the picture from my desktop. I thought I saved it on my desktop. I could be wrong. Oh, it saved it as a Google Chrome image. Nonetheless, we'll just grab an image. You get the point. Save the picture of the recipe, pop it in there with the link from the website for the recipes, post. Right? And you could set those up to go off every Wednesday if you wanted to do something like that. Good deal? Social post, everybody feel confident? Yes? No? Maybe so? Awesome. So you can schedule these out and you will see everything scheduled here on your calendar. You can look at a weekly view, a monthly view, if you're being really intentional. Don't forget, next week on Tuesday, I'm going to go through, if you guys have not subscribed to Outfront Magazine, I highly recommend that you do. It's KW's magazine, and it will send you emails with all these tips and tricks of things that are going on right now. And different, this is what I'm teaching on. Fill your August calendar with social media content. So we're going to be going through all of these ideas and how can we implement these on our social media, right? So I'll be teaching that next Tuesday. All right. Good deal. Let me close back some of these windows. Okay. So get that stuff scheduled out. It'll make your life much easier and give you a good social media presence. So we're going to pop now into direct mail. This direct mailing got a recent update. It really, before, was only really good for just listed, just sold, under contract, sold, right? That kind of stuff. They've recently made it where it doesn't have to be listing specific. That was a recent upgrade. So we go to create a campaign. This is just remember, when you're clicking on the tab, it's showing you all the direct mail campaigns you've done. When you click to create the campaign is when you can pick direct mail. What is the name? Boot Camp Test. What is your goal? Right? What are we trying to do here? I'll go first with advertise a listing because that's an easy thing to do. It's going to default to only my listings. I don't have listings, so I'm going to click all. And I'm going to go to 490 Archer Road, search, select. Now, the feed that we have coming from our specific MLS, we are not the only people. There are several other states that have this issue. When we get to our content, what we're trying to do with all of our campaigns is get green check marks all the way down. So we can select a template or we can upload a design. So if we had made a postcard in Designs, we could upload it here. Okay, but it does have specific parameters. So this is what I was talking about. If we're making a compact card, it needs to look like this. Default needs to look like this. Enlarged needs to look like this. They should include all the relevant information. Images need to be in a JPEG or a PDF format. So PNG will not work. So it gives you all the directions. It needs an additional bleed of 0.125 inches. Okay? If you don't do that stuff right, it will not upload the postcard and you will get frustrated. So if you wanted to do your own creative design, please reach out to me for help if you need it. Okay?
Question.
Yes.
Do our templates match this criteria?
Not unless you download them correctly. So that's why I'm saying let's get into a postcard. Let me go in there. So I have some already made. So, and I've seen it happen different on different computers too. So it takes a little finesse the first couple of times to learn your system. Okay, there's one. So yes, I just pulled in a postcard template from Designs, right? But I found out on my specific computer, at least, that when I download this to get mine to work, I need to download a PDF for printing. I need to include bleed, manual bleed. There's that 0.125 that it recommended. And I have to hit download a CMYK or it will not work. So when I download, we'll let that finish doing its thing. It's preparing right now. Okay, we're good. So when I come here and I go to upload it, it will fit and it will show me the preview on the right hand side here. Right? But if I had done anything different than what I just did, it would give me an error. Because I did all the practicing to find out what worked on my computer. So if you ever have a problem with this, just reach out to me and we can hop on Zoom and we can make sure that we figure it out for your computer. Right. We also have these templates, which make our life pretty easy. Do you want to go compact, default, large, large contemporary, right? I'm just going to go default like so. It's going to pull in some of these statuses, some of the info from Archer Road. It's going to have this description. I'm at 769 of 1,000 characters, so I'm good, right? Now here's where I always run into a problem, is the quality of the pictures from our MLS are not high enough quality for this program. So if I try to click, low resolution, right? But if this is your listing, obviously you have the pictures from the photographer, so you just upload the image. So that is one of the issues I've run into with just the front exterior postcards, is it not wanting to allow me to use those pictures. And then we work our way through. We want to make sure our market center looks good, logo looks good, suite number. It won't populate the state, so I need to pick that in my zip. Okay, and then targeting looks good. Do I want to do local targeting around the address, or do I want to target people in my database, right? Do I want to email or mail my database and say, hey, look what I just listed on Archer Road and Old Sherwood? That's up to you, whichever one you want to do. Local targeting is going to allow you to pick how many around that you want. This QR code is going to give you ability for tracking. It's going to add a QR code to the postcard, and if the recipient scans it, it's going to take them to a page that captures their information and tracks it back to this postcard, right? And then down here at the bottom is our budget. So in order to do 200 postcards at standard size, 79 cents per card is an estimated $158. You would move forward to configure targeting. It's not going to let me. Why? What's missing? Oh, verify address. Confirm. And that's because of that picture that it's not letting me move forward. But once you move forward, it's pretty straightforward. Let me just grab a picture from my computer. That should be high quality enough. Nope. Hold on. I know I've got one somewhere. It's probably going to be the beach because, oh, that one's not working either. Obviously, you would have your own pictures from your listing, which I don't have. Let me think. I know what I can do. Winston-Salem. I have those high quality downtown shots. Somewhere in here. That one right there. There we go. Save all that. Configure targeting. What fields are missing? I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, I bet I know what it is. I don't have a back of the postcard. Oh, I have to assign a landing page. That's my bad. Yes, I'm sure. I don't usually add that QR code. It threw me off. Move forward. It's connecting with Real Mailers, which is who does this. Now, granted, I love the postcards. They're pretty. Uploading your own custom design sometimes doesn't turn out as well as some people hope. So I prefer to use the templates that are already in the system. Especially black backgrounds with white letters do not turn out well. That's just feedback that I've gotten, right? This is showing you the addresses where it is sending it. I can increase, I can decrease, I can send one to my company address, standard or first class mail. First class is obviously going to make the price go up, right? Now, while I do love these postcards, I want you guys to be made aware that there are several lenders that partner with you to do these postcards as well. The only difference is the lender's on the postcard with you, right? So there are lenders that will do coming soon, just listed, under contract, just sold, set your clocks forward, set your clocks back, a monthly recipe card. Like, they do all these different things. They do all the work for you. You tell them where you want it to go, and they send it, they show you the preview, they do all the work, and they cut the cost in half because they split the cost with you, right? So 3 L's of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent: listings, leads, and leverage. That's a piece of leverage for you and a money saver. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Does anybody have any questions about direct mail? If you ever try to do one of these and it doesn't work because you're uploading a custom template, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Just want to make sure that I make that known.
Yeah, the back of the postcard.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that template before I scheduled that one-on-one with you, and I downloaded it and uploaded it into another system to send it off, mail it, etc. And I followed the template to a T, but it overlapped into non-printable areas. And so is that an issue when you mail it directly through what you just did?
Not if you use the pre-made templates,
I
right?
did. Yeah, I did.
And you mailed it through this design center? Through
Well,
the
I was
source?
about to, and I couldn't, I don't know, maybe I was having a bad day and I couldn't figure it out. And I said, well, you know what? I have this other source that I've used before.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I downloaded the postcard and uploaded into that program. I
Uh-huh.
don't think it was go to something. And yeah, the back of the postcard where you would have the name and address printed. If you uploaded addresses where
Mm-hmm.
you bought an address list, the imagery overlapped into that area.
Oh gosh. I would have to look at it. I would have to look at the other program because
Okay.
I, I don't know. I would have to see the proof. Um,
Okay.
that's one of the biggest things that, that's why I always mention that leverage piece about lenders that do
Yeah.
it because I just never was big on doing postcards myself when I had somebody
Mhm.
else that could do it and cut the cost in half for me. So I honestly,
Mhm.
that's what I always did. I worked with Fairway. I worked with Zana Moretti at Fairway. She's their marketing person for all of the Fairways. And I love her and she's awesome. And I would say, I just listed this. Can you send a postcard? I want to farm this neighborhood. Can we put them on the recipe cards? And she just did all of it for me. So while I do like these, I have heard some things like that. And without me actually seeing what got uploaded, what proof did they give you that it was correct, I can't answer. But I'm happy to look at it for later. Good?
Can you get one to sent to your house yourself
Um,
as a check?
only if you were going, you can get it sent to the market center, right? It'll only
Okay.
send it to the market center address. If you were doing it to your database instead of a neighborhood, yes, you could
Oh,
add
yeah.
yourself from your database, or if you lived in the neighborhood, you could include your house. But otherwise,
Okay.
you just click that option that says send one to the office.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody good before we move on from direct mail? Okay. Emails. Again, keep in mind, yours is going to look a little bit different than mine. This part probably looks similar. Um, but I am in the lab for this, so I got to look at this. This is another one of those that until this version rolls out that I'm working in, I have had some agents that got failures on these. Just today, they did release the universal unsubscribe button. So if you ever do send out an email campaign and you see some not get delivered, a lot of that could be because people unsubscribed. So keep that in mind. But you have to have email lists. So this is what it looks like where you've sent the emails, right? I'm going to create a campaign again. I'm going to choose email this time. I'm going to go through all the steps here. What am I doing? I'm going to just say brand awareness this time. And I'm using command email down here at the bottom. If you're a MailChimp user and you love MailChimp, then you go ahead and use MailChimp. That's why it's an option, right? Nothing wrong with that, but what I'm showing you guys is how to use command mail. So we're going to create the campaign. We have our general information up here and our goal. It's coming from my KW email. If that is not the right email where you want people to reply, then you're going to need to go into your settings. And I'll show you guys where this is. In your settings, in command, click our profile picture and drop to settings. Let this get loaded and go down. There's our command mail. Manage, sender name, reply to email. So if you don't like the email that's showing up, then you can come and add one in and make sure that it's the right email. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay, cool. So send to, I have some lists already made, but if you don't have a list, then from here you can create a list. Remember on Monday when we talked about the importance of tagging our database? Here's why, right? I have, 1,900 contacts in here? I do not want to scroll through 1,900 contacts to make an email list. I don't know about y'all. For the sake of time, I'm just going to make a list called family. I have a tag called family, so I can go in my tags. I can search for the tag that's called family. I mean, you can see even with tags, you know, I have a lot, but I do a lot of tagging. So there's my family tag. That's going to pull up all the contacts that have that tag, and I can just select all and confirm, and it built that list for me. So that's one of the reasons that it's important to use tags. So if you want to send something, an email to all of your past buyers or your whole sphere of influence or all of your past sellers, right, then you want to be able to sort them out by tags to create these email lists. Does anybody have any questions there? Feeling good? Okay. Come down to the subject. I love emojis. Young people love emojis. If you want to insert emojis into your subject lines on your emails, then you can literally just type emoji in your search bar in Google, and you can go to get emoji. If you're on a Mac, I think you guys have a way to get emojis, but this, I'm on a PC, so this is how I usually do it. So say I want a house. I can search for the house, and I like this one with the garden. Then I can just copy this emoji, and I can pop it right into my subject line. Are you, or is your house ready for fall? Right? So I can do this right here, and then I can move up, and I can go to select my design. Look for fall. I think there is an email about fall, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. I thought there was a getting ready for fall one. I'm just going to pick low budget projects as my email template. It's going to show me the email template, right? Are you looking for some fun, affordable things to do around your house? You're in luck. All my stuff. I could add something in if I wanted to add a video. Hey, this is Monica. Hope you're having a great summer. Just wanted to give you a couple of ideas of things that you could do at the house, right? I could add that video in. In the interest of time, I'm going to save and exit. You can also preview tablet and phone, what it will look like on the different formats. I'm going to save and exit. Got the email ready, and now I'm going to change this to saying quick and easy home projects. Right? Done. I've already got the design selected. It's showing over here on the right. Actions, preview email, send a test email. I can do that. Right? Otherwise, I can just click send. I'm sending it to 8 recipients. That's what it looks like. Send. Right? So that is how you can do an email campaign. The other thing that I like to do with those one-off emails is create single-step smart plans. Especially if it's something that I want to schedule out. You know, say I want an email to go out to everybody on the 4th of July, and then I want an email to go out to everybody on Thanksgiving. If that's something I want to schedule out for a long way away, I like the fact that I can use One smart plan, just pull in the email, add the design to it, set it to go, set the date for it, and then I don't have to think about it anymore. So that's just one of my tips that I use too, right? But the update that we're getting here in these emails is really, really cool. So I can't wait for that to get released, and then I can show it to all of you. It'll be really exciting. Does anybody have any questions on email campaigns?
I may have missed it. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
On the clicks and bounces,
Mm-hmm.
you have to come back in this to see how
So
many people
that's
click
one of
on
the
it?
things I think you guys get to see a little bit. I have a different version of this. Let me log in as a different person real quick and see what you guys see. Hold on one sec. Log out. Log in as E helper. So that is one of the upgrades. A lot of complaints that we had was that it wasn't like some of the other email platforms in that they couldn't see as much information about the clicks and bounces and stuff like that. Okay, so it looks like you guys do at least get clicks, opens, and recipients.
It's July.
So you do get to see some of it, but only these.
But you don't, do you get to see who clicked?
No,
Okay.
and you will.
We will get to see which
That's
email
why
clicked.
it's when that update comes out, you will get to see who opened, who bounced, who unsubscribed, and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be in the update.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And you do have to come back into your email, this page, to see that. It's not going to send it to you some other way, right?
Correct. You would just come back to your campaigns page.
Okay.
Good?
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So email campaigns. The update is coming, I promise. It is being tested right now. I am one of those testing, and hopefully it'll get released soon. All right. So here's the big one. Paid ads. Right? It's the big one, but it's very short for me to show you. Because the goal is that we've already set up our smart plan that we talked about Monday, right? We're going to run an ad for 27104, so we have a smart plan set up for 27104. We're going to run an ad for a specific listing, so we have a smart plan set up to follow up with the leads for that specific listing, right? So the setup is done. The campaign creation is easy, okay? So I'm going to show you guys a couple of different ways that we can do this. So adjust the listing is really quite simple. This one below is where I'm showing people recently reduced homes. Remember I told you about our websites and how we can use the search functionality in Facebook ads? That is one of the things that you can do. Okay? So creation of the campaign, simple. Create campaign, social ad paid. Give it a title. I'm going to do a single listing. We're advertising a listing as our goal. Where are we running the ad? I usually just do Facebook. Facebook, you're going to get Facebook for a single listing. You're going to get more leads for less cost. And keep in mind, this is not a Zillow listing that you're paying $1,000 a month for that zip code. This is a list. This is a person that you're interrupting their news feed. You're going to have to follow up with very frequent communication, which is where the smart plan comes in, right? Even if they're not going to buy for 6 months or a year, it doesn't mean they're a bad lead. It just means you need to set up that frequent communication automatically to happen so that you can capture them. And people do get some qualified leads that are ready to buy now also. They're just not as many. But don't just trash the other ones is what I'm trying to tell you, because eventually they're going to want to buy. And when they get ready, you want to be the one that's in front of them the whole time, having a conversation with them, even if they're not answering you back. Same thing with postcards. I've had people say, you know, I never got anything out of my postcard. I know agents that someone's held on to their postcard for a year and a half or maybe 2 and said, you know, I really loved your marketing of my neighbor's house. I just wasn't ready to sell them, but I kept your postcard and now I'm giving you a call. Right? We're all going to need business in the future. So just remember that. All right. So conversion rate, usually about 50 to 1 on these. Okay. So advertise listing, Facebook, create campaign. We're going to roll with that same listing just because it's easy. I need to turn it off all my listings. If you don't have your own listing and you want to run a Facebook ad on a listing, ask. Ask another agent that does have a listing. There are a list of agents in both market centers that will let you do that. So ask, right? Don't do it without asking.
Quick question, Mom.
Yeah, go ahead.
Said 1 conversion rate, 50 contacts, or 50 potential leads to 1?
No, if you get 50 leads, there's a 50 to 1 chance that they'll be wanting to buy now. Doesn't mean they're not going to want to buy ever. Right now. Right? So there's that listing. We're going to select it. It's going to show us the ad on the right. I'm good with it. Looks good. Super simple. Here's our text. Here's our main copy. Enter a headline. I usually go super simple on these. The less text, the better on Facebook. Welcome home. Description. Try this. You could be coming home to this. Why are they suggesting that? Because they've had proof that it works. If you don't like that, shuffle. Schedule a private tour with me today. If you don't like that, shuffle. View photos and videos of this home. Okay? I'm going to stick with that one. But whatever I say here, I want to make sure I'm delivering. Right? Choose your verbiage wisely. Save. Oh, I have to click use suggestion. Save. Good? Media. Yes, I can pick more than one picture, but the more complicated you make these, the more time it takes you, the more time it takes for them to get approved by Facebook. And we get very strong results with just one exterior photo. Okay? I'm going to include my ownership statement like I always do. And give that a minute to load. And I'm going to click save. Looking for green checks all the way down. Facebook settings. Configure. Please use the Facebook lead generation form. I'm going to say it again. You can only pick one page, unlike social media content or social media posts. One page to run the Facebook ad. Use the Facebook lead generation form. If you don't, you're going to end up with a whole bunch of impressions and no leads. Because what the Facebook lead generation form is doing is before they ever know that they really gave their data, I know it sounds kind of shady, and everybody does it. That's the way of marketing nowadays. It's captured their data, right? It's keeping them within Facebook. They click on the house to see more pictures, and then it captures their data and it puts them in command. Okay? So button label. Learn more, sign up, apply now. I'm going to stick with learn more. If I'm going to tell them they can learn more, I want to assure them that they are learning more, which means I'm going to go to that website again. I thought I'd left it open. And look up that property. And click on that properties page. And grab that link and copy it. Close this down. And I'm going to paste that URL right there in that bar. So I am doing what I said. If you click on this ad, you can view photos and videos of this home. Right? If you click on this ad, you can learn more about this listing. I'm delivering on that promise. Does anybody have any questions about this piece? You got to make sure you give them a follow-up. Yes, you can build a landing page. There are some agents that choose to build out these very specific landing pages because they're going to run 10 ads at one time. If you want to do that, that's great, right? And if you just want to go fast and easy, this is the way to do it, because it's still going to capture their information. Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Quick comment. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No.
Early on when they first rolled out these, about what, a year, 2 years ago when they
Mhm.
first rolled out
Yeah.
Facebook things, and they had you, spend what, $5-10 for a Facebook ad, whatever.
Mhm.
They pushed do a landing page so that you can capture information. So what we're doing now is we're just using that Facebook lead generation as a
I
substitute for
never
that.
taught people or pushed people to use a landing page, so I don't know who your teacher was.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes, you can do it. And when I work with my agents that run like 5 or 6 ads at one time, then we do that. But now that this new piece that I'm going to show you in the next section is out, the
Okay.
reason we were doing it is to keep them separate. Like, this is the ad I ran on 123 Main Street. This is the ad I ran on 567 Maple. This is this ad, right? That kept them separate. But with what I'm about to show you next, you're not going to have to do that anymore.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Well, look at that, so you can keep going. All right.
Cool deal. So we have our landing page, define our audience. I like to use custom settings sometimes, and sometimes I just leave it at base. It's up to you. I usually do 15 miles around because I live in the middle of a city. If you live out in a rural area, you might want to go further, right? Up to you. Another thing to think about, you could also run these ads up in the north because a lot of northerners like to move down to the south. So if you want to run this up in New York for people that don't want to live in New York anymore and they want to come south, you could run it up there, right? And capture those leads of people moving down. So just a thought. So I can add interest if I want. There are lots of schools of thought on this. Some people say they don't add any interest, they get more leads. Some people say they get higher quality leads when they do add interest. Feel free to run a couple and see what works for you, right? Run a couple and see what works for you. Don't run them for a lot at first. Find that honey hole and then rerun that ad and increase the cost. Rerun that ad and increase your budget and keep pulling those leads in, right? So, interest that you can add. If I added interest when I run them, I usually do realtor.com, because if they're showing an interest in realtor.com, not pro, that's agents, but in realtor.com, they're looking at houses somewhere, right? And the dreaded Z word, if they're interested in this one, they're looking at houses somewhere. So I might add those two. You could get really nitty gritty. You can add, if you're running an ad for $1 million house, you might want to put that they like luxury cars and vacations, right? Or something like that. So again, some people don't use any at all. We click save, we get a green checkbox. This is our brand new button, super awesome. We're going to configure lead settings. When I'm running this campaign, okay, how do I want these people to get tagged? Facebook lead 490 Archer Road. That tag does not yet exist in my database. I'm going to create that tag. Say I want all my Facebook ads to have a teal color. I'm going to add that tag. So any lead that comes in off of this page is going to be tagged with Facebook lead for 490 Archer. Okay? And then I can automatically assign them to start on the 66, on whatever your smart plan is. This house is in 27106. So I'm going to use my Facebook follow-up smart plan for 27106 that I created. And it's specific to that zip code because I said, you clicked on this home. Thanks for clicking on it. Do you have any questions? Then I sent a text that said, hey, just checking back in. Are you looking for a home? Then I sent an email that said, hey, I haven't heard back from you, and if you're still interested in homes in 27106, here's a list of homes that have been price reduced in the last 7 days in 27106, right? I have these step. If one of those people begins to speak to me, I'm going to remove them from that smart plan and start doing other forms of communication with them. But it's going to continue to follow up with them. And then one of the last steps is to put them on a monthly neighborhood nurture, right? So I want to specify this smart plan to them so I know to add Old Sherwood Forest to their neighborhood in their contact card, so that when that monthly neighborhood nurture starts, it's got Old Sherwood as one of the neighborhoods and maybe a couple that are surrounding that area, right? So then it's going to keep talking to them long after the smart plan is expired. It's going to just reach out to them monthly. So maybe they just clicked on it because it was pretty and they always wanted to live in Old Sherwood. And then maybe next year they get a promotion and then they can afford to live in Old Sherwood. You've been reaching out to them that entire time, so you are who they're more than likely going to call to help them, right? So you're automatically tagging them, you're automatically adding them to a smart plan. I do recommend that your first step of your smart plan is an email and not a text. Because if this comes in overnight and you're asleep, number one, if you're using automated texting from Twilio, it's not going to fire after, I think it's from 11 to 7 is when the texts go out. I'll have to double check on that. And then after that, the text won't go out until the next morning. Or maybe it's 10 to 6. Nonetheless, or if you're not using Twilio and the first step is a text, it's going to task you to text them. And if you're asleep, you're not going to be able to text them, right? So first step, just make it an email. That way you know it automatically goes out. Okay? Down here to duration and budget, they recommend $1 per channel per day. And it reminds you that ads may take up to 24 hours to be reviewed by Facebook before becoming active. So if you're going to run an ad for a listing saying it's open house this weekend, don't start that today. It's Thursday. So if you're running an ad for that, you need to start that before. Give yourself the 24 hours and a couple of days to lead up to that. Right? So I usually run ads for 25 bucks. I feel like if I get one lead for 25 bucks and make our average commission in both market centers, I think is around between $6,000 and $7,000. I'll pay $25 to get one deal for $6,000 to $7,000, right? I hope you guys would. But the money is in the follow-up. If you're not going to follow up with these people, you're throwing that $25 in the trash. Okay? Any questions about Facebook ads? About doing the single listing? I know we're past time. I just want to show you guys quickly on another ad that I have heard works really well. So I'm going to look up 27106 zip code. Double edged sword, because if you're going to offer them a list of 27106 zip code, then you want to make sure that you're giving them a link to that. So I just searched for listings near 27106. I'm going to click the more button. I'm going to go to the very bottom, price reduced in the last 7 days. I'm going to turn it on. Okay? And you'll see the listings change in the map. So now I'm only looking at listings that were reduced in the past 7 days. And that link stays live. So now I can just take a screenshot of that page. Right? And that screenshot will become my image. So instead of having an image of the front exterior of a house, come on, there we go, I can have an image of a map that shows recently price reduced homes. Squares usually work best. In 27106. They can see a map. We'll save that image. And we'll go back here to create a campaign. And for this one, we'll just do no listing, right? So we said advertise listing before. This one's going to be attract buyers. And then I'm going to go back to my old one that I did before. Yes. So that's what this one was, right? Let me edit. But I just did the search. I'm going to keep that link. Oh, it's expired. Social ad paid. Recently. Oh, I know why. Hold on. Because I'm in the wrong account. I logged out to show you guys that email, and I was not in my own. Nope. Let's do it again. And if you guys need to drop off for time, feel free to. And if you want to stick around to see this, feel free to do that also. Let's try this again, shall we? All right. So, let me see, paid ads. I want to edit. Let me see if it'll open it this time. I think it had me going across two different, there we go. Had me going across two different accounts. So, for this one, super simple, right? Name and goal. I'm trying to get buyers. Save. I'm not adding a listing because I'm not doing this for a listing. I've added a screenshot. Premier Winston-Salem neighborhood, sought after school district, historic homes, close proximity to everything downtown has to offer. Welcome home to Buena Vista. This was just for that neighborhood specifically, right? Or I could change the media, delete this image, add my new image from my computer where I just took that screenshot. It would be in here. It's going to take it a second to load. There's that screenshot, preview and crop. Square looks good. Save. I can change this text to say recently reduced in 27106. Check out these homes that have been reduced, that have been price improved in the last 7 days. Right? Headline, recently reduced in 27106. You could do the whole city if you wanted to. Recently reduced in Winston-Salem. See recently reduced homes. Just simple text, right? See recently reduced homes, whatever you want it to say. Screenshot. Just make your way through. Same thing. Create a tag. Put them on a smart plan. Do your duration and budget. How long do you want it to run? They recommend 10 days. Right? To the 9th. Looks good. It's got to be greater than today, so we'll start tomorrow. There you go. That's another ad that you can run. Right? So, use your website. Right? How about homes in Winston-Salem with a pool? It's hot. Everybody wants to go swimming, right? run an ad for homes in Winston-Salem with a pool, homes in Clemens with a pool, homes in Greensboro that have been price improved in the last 7 days, downtown condos, luxury homes in Winston-Salem, price improved in the last 7 days, luxury homes in Greensboro, price improved in the last 7 days, right? So there's a lot of ads that you can run that are not listing specific, right? If you don't have your own listings yet, that doesn't mean you can't run ads. And if you want to run one on a listing, there are a lot of teams that have, multiple listings, and they're like, heck yeah, run it. It's free advertising for my listing, right? Still branded to you. You're still capturing the leads. And most of the time, people bring a buyer, and a different agent than the listing agent brings the buyer to the listing. So they're going to let you do it. The only time a team would say no is if they already have a running ad on that specific listing, right? Otherwise, they're going to be like, yeah, it's fine. Good deal? Anybody have any questions? Was this helpful, seeing all of these moving parts and pieces come together?
Yes.
Yes, very helpful.
Good. Good.
Ma'am.
And just remember, you don't have to like dive into the deep end here, but when you're ready, all of this stuff exists here for you, right?
Mhm.
I'm always here to help you. You know how to get to my one-on-one calendar. If you're like, I don't want to do this by myself, I want to make sure it's right before I do it, that's totally fine. Shoot me a text. Schedule a one-on-one. We can walk through it together, but at least now you have all the steps that you need, right? All right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will talk to you soon, unless anybody has any other questions. You good?
Good.
Thanks
I'm
for all you
good.
do.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome, guys. See you later.